Gypsies. We just watched episode 503, Free Will.
That, I think, was the creepiest episode to date.
Yeah.
Even, like, I think it freaked me out even more than, I forgot what it, Wentworth.
Wentworth is gut-wrenching. This was like Halloween. We had to go through the haunted house.
Yeah.
That's what that was like. Yeah. Yeah, let's just go through it. What, shall we?
Yeah.
We're kind of cat got our tongue now with this whole episode.
Yeah.
So we go in seeing Marcelly, super smart. I was asking, because she mentioned Boston, I was asking, does she know that Claire time traveled? But you cleared that up pretty fast. She doesn't know.
No.
But she's
No,
smart.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't know. Trying to remember, weren't they in Boston for a while, but I can't remember what episode that was or what they were there for.
Season 4? I think she told everybody that's where she came from. I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's late.
But I know I liked, how Claire was teaching Marcelly how to make penicillin.
Yes. My thing is that they're talking about penicillin and Claire starts talking about how she's tempting fate, but she already brought penicillin back there. Granted, she used it all up, but she already brought it to the past. Is it because if she makes it, then she's going to show others how to make it, and it's going to be, like, invented? Because she already had it and helping people with it. They keep making a big deal out of the penicillin.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's because she's planning to make it discovered and documented.
Yeah, but why would she? Why don't she just make it and kind of hide it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay.
I don't know.
Oh. And then, do you have something before Jamie on the hill?
No, go ahead.
Jamie comes riding in on that horse on the hill, and you probably can see little love hearts in both of our eyes. Do I have love hearts?
Yeah, beautiful eyelashes.
Love hearts. We were like, oh, he's on a horse. What a pretty horse.
Yeah, you were looking at the horse.
Yeah. I was like, where's Claire? Why isn't she on the hill greeting him?
Yeah.
She was asleep. He walks inside and he does the sign.
Oh my gosh.
Over
Oh
Claire.
my
Both of
gosh.
us go, oh.
No, it was more than that. Yeah, the way he prays over her
And
while
he
she's
said,
sleeping.
thank God. Oh my gosh.
There is another episode, I can't remember seasons, where he prayed over
That
her
was
while she
season 1
sleeping.
and when she came back, when he was staying in that brothel
Man.
place. Yeah.
Like, are there any men out there?
In season
who
1, he did that a
for
lot.
real?
And even like thinking when they were in Paris and she'd ask him, what did you say? And at first he wouldn't tell her.
Yeah,
He was speaking his Gaelic.
yeah. And this one, she asked, "What are you thanking the Lord for?"
Oh my gosh.
For the sight of you, Sassenach.
And I said, we need that on a mug.
Yeah, yeah.
We need that on a mug.
Oh, don't tell people that. Somebody's gonna make it.
That'll
That's
be our
our
product.
idea.
Yeah. We'll make that product.
This
You
is-
want to buy it from us?
This is the patent right
Yeah.
now, the spoken patent.
But we're stealing it from the show.
yeah. No, that's true. But I mean,
Yeah.
this is on a mug.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that would be good on a mug.
But
right?
I guess it's not something they said in the show.
Yes, he is. When he walks into the house, Sam Heughan has this great ability just to act through emotion. You could like feel the love oozing out of him for Claire and him just kissing her hand. And she wakes up and she's like, Jamie. great. It was like such a momentous moment, and they didn't even like do anything other than that, but it was like the same heart swell.
Sweetness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. So
Mhm.
then we have to go into talking about the militia, and she was asking him, "Do you like Knox?" You know, and he's like, "Yeah, I did," till he like stabbed a guy.
Mhm.
So they're gathering them in, but we were still, when he was talking about the militia and that part, we were still like, "Oh my gosh, he prayed over her."
Well, I'm sitting here trying to go forward with this, but I'm still stuck on that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, if men would do that, like, in real life, what an impact that would have
Yeah,
on
but
marriages and families.
you know, Diana made him up.
Yeah. I want to believe that men really do that. Like, I don't know.
That was the good
do any
part.
of y'all have, that's a sensitive question I want to ask.
Significant others
That pray over.
that's sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, question. What piece of paper did Fergus grab? He ran in there and just
Yeah.
did this about Claire's stuff.
That was never answered.
No, so I
this
think
episode.
something's gonna happen later, maybe. Like it looked like he grabbed some of the penicillin
Yeah.
stuff because it kind of the penicillin bread was in the background.
Yeah, later on, she said something to Bree about, no, not Bree, Marsley, about leaving her
Drawings.
Drawings, yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna get her in trouble.
I'm thinking
We haven't
about
read the
that.
books up to this point, so we have no idea. So, oh, and then I was wondering, why does Fergus still call Jamie Milord? Is that a term of endearment at this point? Because
yeah.
he calls him his son, and why doesn't he call him Da or
I think it's an endearment thing.
Milord? Seems like he's in servitude. I don't know. But, I mean, they don't act like that.
No,
but-
I think
or yes,
I
sir.
think
It reminds me of
he
like yes,
feels-
sir.
such a sense of gratitude still for everything they've done for him. So I think it's like his own free will to choose to continue serving him that
Yeah,
way.
and then we got a Panda Marsley. She's still butchering animals.
Yeah,
She must have
she's pretty, yeah.
muscles.
She
She's like,
hacked that thing right in
I'm like,
half.
isn't there anybody else doing that? And how much do they eat? Why is she hacking all this?
This isn't not a vegan-friendly show,
No,
is
it's
it?
not. Oh my gosh!
But,
And then
yeah,
he
they
was
had to do what they had to do.
yeah, and then he was gathering the men on the ridge, which is a big thing. And he gave Claire a gun. Is that foreshadowing something as well?
I don't know.
For her safety. It took me back to when they were teaching her how to use the Sindhu, the dagger.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
With Angus
was
and all
fun.
that? That was super fun. Bring back the gang.
Yeah. The game.
Where's the gang at? And then Roger says something kind of telling to Bree that Jamie put her in charge of the ridge while they're gone.
Mhm.
I thought that was significant. She's a woman. Back then, you know, women weren't really like in
Yeah.
charge of things, but that was neat.
So,
And why is Roger going? What's he gonna do? Does he know how to shoot now?
I don't know. Maybe it was a kind of a pity invitation.
I don't
like,
know. But he is gathering people,
hey,
I
you
guess.
wanna come with us?
Yeah, like I was like, what's he gonna do?
because he's a man, sort of.
I know, but he left him one time already. And he was like, oh man, shucks, I got left behind.
I'm included this time.
He still wants to go back to the future.
So when Claire and Bree were saying goodbye, one thing I noticed, Bree was kind of sporting the Merida look. lately.
Merida?
Merida from
Oh
Bree.
yeah, from Bree. I did too. I was like, her hair looks like
Yeah,
wild like
she
that. It
just
looks so
kinda-
pretty though. I liked it.
that
I
look
liked
too.
it. I liked it. But you know, still back to Roger. What is his purpose? I guess he's a captain he's a recruiter basically. But you know, Claire's going, but she has a purpose. She's a physician. So I don't know. It must be really hard for those men at the ridge to be on the redcoat side because they were actually
Yeah.
displaced by the redcoats. They're in America
Yeah.
because they were shipped off.
Mhm.
So they have
That'd
some
be tough.
pretty hefty loyalty towards Jamie,
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
It's you know, it's crazy.
Well, he pretty much commands loyalty.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he has a great stature.
Yeah.
And then they're riding, they're leaving, and they pull over get gas. And he's like, Claire, I need to tell you something. The bonnet is alive. And she's like, does Bree know? And he's like, no. She's like, that's a blessing. We're like, whatever, she knows.
Yeah.
That's why she's having the flashback Claire to the wedding. What's the matter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it got me thinking, you know, he's saying, like, he escaped, but I'm like, oh my gosh, Bree is the one that dropped the keys in the jail. And that's what he used to free himself.
But on the bright side of all of this is at least Jamie will have the chance to beat the right man.
I don't know. I think Bonnet's gonna. He has slipped through.
Hey, I know what's gonna happen.
What?
Roger's going because they're gonna run into Bonnet, and then Jamie and Roger will bond over beating Bonnet's butt.
I don't know about Roger. He already got beat by Bonnet before. I feel bad for Roger. I already feel bad by Roger.
It's his chance at.
Okay, so Bonnet escaped a hanging, and then robbed them blind and killed one of their friends in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was supposed to be hung again and escape that. I think he's gonna probably escape. You remember how long Blackjack lived? And you're like, be dead already. They're gonna do that with Bonnet.
Yeah.
He's gonna escape a lot.
They already are.
You know who should have the revenge on him is Bree.
Yeah.
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 So.
We want to see that.
And then we meet Josiah's twin, Keziah. Right? Keziah? You want me to just say it?
Yes.
I have little cousins, bless their little hearts. First is Araya. Then I have a little cousin named Keziah. And another little cousin named Kaya. And then the last one is Josiah. She's like, you need to mention your cousins. That's what my brother's wife wanted to name them because she likes that. We call them the Ayas.
So now you have.
And so when they said Keziah, I was like, oh, we have a Keziah. Yeah. So the whole indentured servant thing, like, it still was like, what? I mean, that was already in the old Scotland. It's been like 20 years or whatever since Jamie was in prison and he was indentured. I thought that was kind of over with, but it makes sense. They're still slaves.
Yeah.
But that was, you know, they were bought when they were 2 and they had to be indentured to the 3rd. They didn't even do anything wrong. That's what got in my mind is you're not indentured for doing a crime like Jamie.
Yeah.
Essentially, they said that you did this crime, so you're going to be indentured. But these were babies, and you just see the evilness of slavery and being indentured and stuff like that. It just kind of hit me. I don't know. It was kind of strange.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sad.
Oh my gosh! They get to the Beardsley house.
Yeah.
Claire's like, something's kind of weird here.
Well, first of all, she's like, I'm going to go check the barn. And Jamie's like, I'm going to go check the house. And
after they see Keziah with no pants on, he can't talk, they know that he did that to his ears, they're just going to split up on the Beardsley property. I'm like, hello.
So at that point, I was thinking, this whole thing feels like a horror movie.
Yeah, it reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which we have the house over here in another city. They moved the house, so it's a restaurant now.
It's a great restaurant now.
Yeah, it is a great restaurant, but people are scared of it. And then he's looking in the window, Jamie, and he's like, oh, there's goats in there. Well, I'm like, why is there goats in the house? I turn away, and she goes, ah! And there's a face in the window, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that startled. I was waiting for it, because it had that whole feeling of something's gonna pop out. Something's gonna pop out. And then the creepy face in the window.
I had to turn at the front, and then have really big in here, don't go in. And what did they do? They went in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, what smells? And I kept saying, it's a dead body smell. It's a dead body smell. And then I'm like, yeah, why are there goats inside? One of them asked, why are the goats inside?
I was just reading my note. So the door, someone's trapped inside that closet thing, and Jamie has to go open it. Yeah. And I wrote down, Billy, you horny creep, you scared me.
Yeah, Billy. I was like, Billy, ha 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 ha. And then, and I was like, oh, the lady's like, the wife, we know that now, it's Frances, we didn't know her name there, but I put, lady doesn't smell dead body, OMG. And I'm like, don't go up there, Claire! Exclamation.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Claire, why the hell are you going up there?
Yeah. Of what the hey, Claire, don't go towards the rot, the rotten smell. And then really giant, I have, we both exclaimed, he's not dead!
That's what I have too. I'm not going to write what I wrote, but I'll say, crap, he's not dead. But we both said it out loud.
And then I thought immediately, when they were talking about it, immediately, okay, that's what happens when you have abuse. I mean, she was obviously severely abused. You could tell right away for that, to be like that, because that's not in a lot of women's nature to even act like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then we flash to Roger recruiting, and then Roger's making promises he can't keep. I'm going to take your boys to this war we're having, or maybe not a war, and I'll bring them back. No problem.
It's a politician.
Yeah, he shouldn't be making those type of promises. She's going to go, that mom's going to go after Roger. And then she screams and puts the paper pillow because the maggots, like they just flashed that maggoty wound out of nowhere.
Yeah, I have wormy wound. OMG.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Can we please just like have some warning?
It was Halloween. It was a Halloween episode. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not usually that squeamish, so that surprised
Yeah, but
me.
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Maggots.
Yummy. It was just so gross.
Yeah, and I have again. They were talking about he was being tortured, and I said, when abused, what do you expect? And you know, nowadays you think about. I'm not trying to go really dark, but this episode's kind of dark. You think about the human trafficking that's going on, and how that's such a huge issue, and you find these ladies that may have helped the initial trafficker get new girls or more girls or younger girls, but they were also once trafficked. You know, and they end up in the prison system.
Awful.
And I just thought of that because I've been reading about it a lot.
So it's interesting that came up because just, what's today? Saturday. This morning, I was talking to a woman who does prison ministry for the women's prison, and she was telling me about listening to the women's stories, and the majority of them come from horribly abusive
It's sad.
situations, and it's just so sad what it does.
It is.
To
It's
these
a horrible
women.
cycle.
Yeah.
And then I have on here, they're talking to the guy, and I'm like, gurgle once for yes, twice for no. I guess the eye thing was better, but the gurgle.
Yeah,
thing.
because he kept making the
And then Jamie has to get into a tussle with Frances because she's trying to choke him out at the table.
Yeah.
And surprise, we have a birth. That gushing, I don't know why they kept doing that gushing sound, that all over the floor, and I was like, oh no, she got stabbed in her back. Like, I didn't know.
Well, I saw
and then it kept
something
going, and
fall
we're
on
like,
the floor, and I was like, what the heck is
what
that?
is that?
Well, after the wormy wound
Yeah.
and all, ugh.
And then she talks about that freaky rowan tree where the
Oh, yeah.
5 wives.
Mary Ann, the 4th wife.
Yeah, she's the ghost.
Tells her
Yeah.
things.
Oh gosh.
Creepy.
And then it seemed, you know, he was killing them because I guess he wanted children. It seemed like Mr. Beardsley was impudent.
Yeah.
So he was blaming the wives because back then they didn't know.
Ugh.
Ugh, it's gross. And then Claire's talking to her after she has her baby, and she's, you know, the mom's happy it's not his baby, obviously. And then Claire is giving her hope, but the mother is just full of grief and broken.
But I liked the way after the baby was born and she realizes it's not his baby.
Mm-hmm.
You saw this change come over her face.
Yeah.
Like there was some healing in that.
Yeah, but she felt like she couldn't offer anything. She could not be a mother. What'd she say? Just because you lay in a barn, you're not a horse.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
she knew she was not in the mental state
Yeah.
to probably care for someone. She lived in that abuse for 2 years or more.
Which really, truly makes her a good mother because she's willing, like she wanted the best
Yeah,
for the
that's
child.
true.
So,
That's true. And I just have poor Frances down on here, and then she says, "And your name is Sassenach?"
That was cute.
Yeah, that was super cute. super cute. And I put on here, quit showing Count Dooku. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll know that reference. I keep put that man on the table. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I put, don't leave Claire with Mummy Man. I thought Jamie was gonna leave and let her stay in the house.
I kept thinking that too. I'm like,
Yeah, thank
please
you
don't.
for not leaving Claire in the house.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
when they were sleeping, I was like, how can they sleep in that house?
yeah,
I would not. And they looked
the
so peacefully.
putrid smell.
Oh,
Maybe they took care of the smell.
Not just the smell, the whole feeling.
Yeah, but
of the
I'm
house.
more. When they found the man upstairs, Mr. Beardsley, I actually did a gagging sound. She thought it was funny. I went. I have a weak stomach, so she screamed at the maggots, and I was like, talking about that. He was laying in his own.
Yeah, that was.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she cannot handle bodily fluids.
No, I can do like blood and guts and stuff like that, but other stuff.
Pus and. Shall I go on?
No. I remember I learned from an old episode of like CSI or something. We were eating dinner one time and they found this body like decomposing in a bathtub. It was so disgusting. And we were eating spaghetti as a family, and I'm eating. I'm like, oh my gosh! But then they taught me that if you smile, you can't gag. So if I'm around really gross stuff, I'm smiling really big, trying not to gag.
Yeah.
And she says, you know, I want Bree and Roger and the baby to go back to the future, and so they can experience, you know. And I put so they can experience Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's not safe there either, but she's concerned about germs and stuff like that, and the bacteria and dying from that. But Jamie says, yeah, but they won't have their family, and he's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. And I know some people are like, no, they have to go to the future. I was like, no, that's the whole problem they had before. She was separated from him for 20 years and it was horrible. Yeah. Like, no, you don't want to live like that. And that, you know, that would be Bree. Send Bree back to the future, I think. If she can ever go back and see her mom or family, I think she'd be pining away, just like Claire did, you know.
Well, who does she have to go back to?
Yeah. They just wanted to go forward. And they still don't know if Jemmy can travel.
Yeah.
So... yeah, so the lady just had a baby, and she's like backpacking already. She's gone. She's hitchhiking. She's out of there, walking. Man, I just had a baby. I don't think I could gather myself and hit the road like that. She's tough.
Yeah, she's
tough.
And I was a little concerned that they were gonna like find her.
Yeah,
like, that she killed herself.
That she killed herself by the tree or something.
Yeah,
that would have been
really
horrid.
Happy.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have. And then I was like, "How's the baby gonna eat?" And then they made sure to answer my question because not only did they find the papers and the deed under the baby, but they're like, "Yes, we have the goats, and we will have plenty of goat's milk till we find somebody in town that will nurse." Like they expected people to probably go, "What about how's the baby gonna eat?"
I gave my babies goat's milk.
So I'm glad. That's.
TMI? No. But I'm saying, interesting fact is goat's milk is the closest to human breast milk.
Great.
So there you go.
Awesome.
Now you know. This has been an educational session.
And then I was like I don't know who the actor is for Mr. Beardsley, but I was just doing a role play of him as an actor telling people, I was an Outlander. I was in a whole episode, and somebody going, I don't recall you were an Outlander. What character were you? And then he's gonna have to go, and they're gonna go, oh, Mr. Beardsley. You remember me on the table?
You're so good at that face. Oh, you gotta do the creepy eye thing.
Oh my gosh.
That was so...
He looked
awful.
Like Count Dracula.
Well, whoever he was, he's a very good actor.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to do that face. Yeah, I was an Outlander, look. Episode 503. 503.
It was so like demonic
Yeah,
looking.
it was gross.
Well, they did a very good job on that.
Yes,
because
they did.
I don't get creeped out that easily.
Set my Jamie down, get a drink of my tea.
Yeah. I did not like the whole eye thing. I think that was the worst of it.
The gurgling. No, the gurgling. And
Yeah, his eyes just looked so evil and nasty.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Poor
Good
Jamie.
job,
Poor
actor.
Jamie is
Whoever you
plagued with taking him out too, and he was truly wicked until the end. He didn't even want forgiveness for all the crud he did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know,
I
if
wrote,
he
wow, hard heart.
no heart like a stone.
Yeah.
If he did that to the twins, the boys, and did that to her, and then all those other women, and he was a slave trader also. Did they say that he sold slaves?
I think so.
He sold people basically. I mean, I doubt that those were the only. Let's see, that's 5, 6, 7 people. I doubt that was the only 7 people he did stuff to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably tenfold.
I like that they chose to title this episode Free Will.
Yeah.
And it kind of ended with showing, you know, how we do have free will.
Yeah, you know what's
All the way
freaky?
up until the
When
end.
Jamie was like, blink once for yes and twice for no, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when it showed from the man's perspective, that
Yeah.
gross, and he was
Jamie's
looking at Jamie
face,
like he was a fishbowl. I was like, ooh, it's just eerie how he's looking at him. You know, that man was gonna meet his maker, and Jamie was the maker. I was like, well, if you gotta go,
Yeah.
that's the way you gotta go, right?
But God, for Jamie, you know, he said, I don't want to send someone's soul to hell.
God
Like,
forgives
how
both.
much strength that would have taken.
Well, Jamie's been through a lot.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
man, that was like a powerful
Yeah,
moment
I mean,
in
they
there
could have
for
just
me.
walked out and left that guy there.
Yeah, to suffer.
I mean, his wife was burning his feet. I mean, he
Yeah.
must have been a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say that's his wife because he probably bought her and forced her, you know. That's horrible.
Jamie's a better person than I am
Yeah.
because I probably would have just left him.
Oh, gosh.
Really?
I think he wanted to give an out to Claire, though, too, because he knew as a
she
doctor.
couldn't leave him.
Yeah, so he's just, I think that was also, he was taking care of Claire as well.
Well, you know, it was a good thing to do because going back to like Blackjack and Bonnet, every time they leave somebody, they come back.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I'm glad he ended them.
Yeah. So are they going to keep the baby? Is that going to be a character in the show? We have no idea, but it's cute. They got a baby. Jamie's face when he said, "Oh, she left me the baby," and he's just like, "Oh," he just looks so like fatherly. It was so cute. And then poor Jamie, after he had done that, he was wondering about his own father. If he suffered, she's like, no, Jenny would have told you. And then he has to go into stoke Jamie, like, if that was me, you need to end my life. And I was like, don't make her swear to that. Do you remember his state in Culloden? He was like half dead in that field.
Yeah.
And he came back. She goes,
Yeah.
I'll do what I must, or something
then
like that.
when-
She answered pretty well there.
Yeah, and then when he wanted to die after Wentworth, he was
Oh, yeah.
not healing and he wanted to die.
Yeah.
And she kept fighting
Yeah.
for him.
You can't ask her to promise
No.
that. That's a horrible promise.
Don't, guys, do not ask your wives to end your life.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing to do to somebody.
That was hard. But then the episode just ended and we were like,
Yeah.
we just left with the creepy factor. I was saying, you know, I wish that mother would have stayed and like maybe had the house torn down and lived somewhere else. And we're like, she really couldn't. That whole land was like an evil vibe. Plus there's a freaky tree with ghosts around it. Like, what is she supposed to do?
I wouldn't have stayed.
And she couldn't take the baby either because it wasn't a white baby. Like, how would she raise it, you know? So I'm hoping Jamie and Claire can give the baby a good life. You know, she was precious.
I'm just really happy to think of, what they call her, Fanny off having some freedom now.
Yeah.
Maybe some happiness.
I think she went back to Boston.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we kind of feel like this about this episode.
Yeah, I don't want to see the wormy wound in my sleep.
No. What did you think of the episode? Well, we'd like to hear your thoughts about the show and anything we might have missed. But we thank you for being here with us, and we ask you to like and subscribe and share. Have a good evening. That truly was that episode. We're just like,
Yeah, we can't make light of that episode.
well,
We survived that one.
The only good part was him on the horse in the hill and him coming inside.
Him praying over Claire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah, let's just
imprint that in my mind.
let's just do that.
Get rid of the wormy wound.
Yeah, because we're just kind of like,
Yeah.
so nice weather we're having.